Hey y'all, I'm Deborah. Welcome to my channel. This is the March update for Movie Madness. This is a Pantastic Ladies Collab project. And with this project, you choose prompts that have to do with movies that you choose. For me this year, I love mysteries and I love old movies. And so all of the movies that I've chosen are some of the classic film noir. So the hard-boiled detective and the femme fatale. And a lot of these movies have very interesting cinematography with use of shadows and angles that are kind of very compelling to watch. Some of them are pretty cheesy B movies too, so there's a nice variety of good movies and movies where you just kind of shake your head, but it's an interesting category to me. So all of these are film noir of one point or another. Most of them are from the 40s and 50s. So with that said, your introduction to cinematography and filmography today, let's get into it. So the first movie that is on my list is truly a classic. It is The Postman Always Rings Twice. And for that one, I've chosen something that has already been in a project. So this is its second project. And for that, I have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Highlighter in the shade Incandescent. My goal on this the first time around was 50 uses. My goal in this project is to hit pan. I have had a total of, with those original 50 plus January and February, total of 96 uses, and I have still not hit pan yet, but I do think I'm really close. I'm much closer. So we'll see how that goes. I really like this highlighter. It's a great work, one to wear to work, kind of a great everyday highlighter. It is it's light, but it's not glitzy. It's not glittery. It's just a little bit of a nice little bit of sheen. I'm actually wearing it today. This is a light work day look. I'm going in. All I have to do today, other than office stuff, is my students have a standardized exam to take. So it's not a front-facing day. So I get a little bit of slack. So this is kind of a no makeup, a one and done for me. So that is the Hourglass highlighter for The Postman Always Rings Twice. The next product is, the movie is The Lady from Shanghai. And in this movie, the femme fatale is has just really set up the protagonist, which was played by Orson Welles, by the way, a very young Orson Welles. She was pretty two-faced. She was really, it kind of comes as a surprise at the end that she's a surprise but not a surprise that she was up to something. So what I have for this product is something by Too Faced. That seemed rather appropriate. And what I have is the Too Faced Ethereal Setting Powder. This is like 17 grams of product originally. I've been using this almost a year. And my goal for this project was to use up 3 grams. But between January and now, I have used up 2.43 grams. So I thoroughly expect this one to be out of the project by next month, although this is my only setting powder, so it's not like I won't be using it every day to at least set my under eyes. But then I'll be able to roll in a new movie and tell you guys a new story. So the next product that has been in is for a movie called Angels with Dirty Faces. Has James Cagney as a very young man. This was filmed in 1938. He is in the movie. He is a kind of gangster, early gangster character, and he has reunited with a childhood friend who is actually now a priest. And James Cagney is kind of on his way to death row, and his priest is trying to encourage his redemption. So for Angels with Dirty Faces, I rolled in the Tula Cult Classic Purifying Face Cleanser. Does it automatically make it a cult classic if you put that on the label? I thought that was interesting that they already call itself a cult classic. Maybe it is. I haven't been around that long. But this was new when I rolled it in. There was actually a fair amount of bubble in the top. This takes very little, so I got a feeling I'm going to be using this for an entire year. But right now it is down to about here. You can't actually see it. If you shine a flashlight through it, you can actually see. So it is down to here at this point. And like I said, it just takes a pea-sized amount to do your whole face. And so this is going to last me forever, guys. It's going to be in here forever. All right. Next is one, hang on, it's the one that I'm done with. I forgot to pull out my my empties. So the first empty is for Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The character Jessica, the Roger Rabbit's wife, is a very voluptuous kind of cabaret singer character. And it's an animated film, by the way. And for her, she's got this great line of, "I'm not really bad, I'm just drawn that way," because it is an animated film. So for that one, I put in a eyeliner, which actually made a really great brow pencil. I wasn't fond of it as an eyeliner, but brow pencil was great. And it is completely done. Completely done. This is a Revlon Micro, what do they call this thing? Color Stay Micro Hyper Precision Gel Eyeliner. It's one of those 1.5 millimeter pencils. I'm just not real fond of those little tiny pencils. I have 50-something eyes, and it kind of stretches and skips, and I'm not real fond of it. But it made a really, really nice brow pencil. All right, for the next movie was Nightmare Alley. There has been a remake of this one, but I went back and watched the original 1947 edition. In this movie, I'm not going to call them heroes, because everybody in these kinds of movies, everybody just has a fatal flaw. They're not, and nobody in this movie was really a nice person. And in this movie, the protagonist, the main male character, accidentally poisons somebody. He gave them methyl alcohol instead of the moonshine that he was going to give them. So the guy died. So he accidentally poisoned and killed this guy. There has been a remake recently. I believe Javier Bardem plays in it. I have not seen that one, because I like the ones with their black and white, that stuff. So anyway, that was an aside. What I have rolled in that is this Urban Decay lip pencil in the shade Venom, because that seemed kind of poisonous. I love this shade. It is a dark kind of berry wine color. And there it is. Everything on my screen looks warmer than it does in real life. But this is Venom, and I really, it's one of my favorite colors, one of my favorite pencils. This came in the project in early January at 12.1 centimeters, and it is down to 11 centimeters. So my goal is to finish this. In the last 2 months, I have realized how very long my eye pencils are going to be in this. Lip pencils are going to be in this project. And I use lip pencils almost every day. I'm a bullet lipstick girl. And I love lip glosses, but bullet lipsticks, just, I don't know, there's just something about them. So I use a lip liner almost every day. Okay, so that is Nightmare Alley. Casablanca, I think everybody knows that, Here's Looking at You, Kid. With Ingrid Bergman and Humphrey Bogart in Vichy 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 governed Morocco, fighting Nazis, but still fatally flawed characters. For that, I rolled in something from a French brand because France was ruling Morocco at the time. I've rolled in the Lancome Tanti d'Eau Ultra Wear 24-hour foundation. Um, I love this. I love it almost as much as the Dior that I finished last month. Um, it has great wear. You can build it, you can shear it out in medium coverage, or you can build it up to full coverage. Either one does have great staying power. When I brought it in, it was somewhere up here. 19 uses later, it is down to here. So probably another 3 months. It's getting to be, it's that season in South Carolina where you have all 4 seasons in the same week. Like right now, it's 37 degrees outside. This is morning. It's before 8 o'clock. I'm filming this before I go to work. It's 37 degrees outside, and later on this week, we'll have a high of 86. So it's one of those, it's that time when you get all 4 seasons in the same week, sometimes in the same day. And everything is starting to bloom. My daffodils are up and blooming. My mom's daffodils are gorgeous, by the way. And yeah, the pine trees are starting to spit their pollen. So you go out in the morning and the dew's on your car and it's all gummed up with yellow pine pollen as well. The hit with that is, even though outdoors is trying to kill you, we have a very long, very beautiful growing and blooming flower season. So that is just one of those very lovely, you put up with the pollen to deal with the beauty of what goes on later in the season. All right, for the Naked City, I had a bath product that was the M Greengrass Foaming Body Scrub in the fragrance Cardamom and Lavender. It is completely done. I liked the smell. I liked the way it foamed, but it wasn't very scrubby. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and it wasn't very scrubby, but it was a nice soap. Nice soap. Not a problem with it. Wouldn't purchase it. All right, so 2 rolling out, and I'm going to roll 2 in. And to me, that is exciting. So, the absolutely top of the top film noir for me is The Maltese Falcon. Classic movie with Humphrey Bogart, Sidney Greenstreet, and Peter Lorre. And in this movie, they are chasing a small statuette of a falcon, and it came from Malta. So, Maltese Falcon. It was supposedly from the Crusades and had hidden treasure, and it did. There was a gem inside of it. So the prompt for this one is Hidden Gem. So what I am rolling in this blush, this Franken blush, because I got this palette, this small palette from my mom that had a bunch of little tiny eyeshadows that actually made me itch in there. So they got thrown away, but there were 2 little blushes in there. They were really small pans, and it was really hard to get your brush in there without getting eyeshadow all over it too. So I popped them out and frankened them, and I wasn't sure how it's going to turn out because I wasn't really fond of them separately, but together they make this beautiful kind of pale pink blush. I'm actually wearing it today. It comes out, when you look at it in the pan, it has some gold sparkle to it, but when you put it on your skin, it does not. It's this beautiful pale, you have to build it up a little bit because, Franken stuff, but it's this beautiful peachy pink. It turned out to be a hidden gem. So my goal is 25 uses, and it is pretty thin. I may hit pan on it with 25 uses, but we'll see because I've never hit pan on a blush before. So we'll see. So this is rolled in for Maltese Falcon. All right, so the last one I'm rolling in is the most recent movie in my the ones that I have chosen. This one actually comes from 1995. It starred Denzel Washington, and the movie is Devil in a Blue Dress. It's based on a novel, and the main character is Ezekiel Rollins, and it's set in the 40s, and he has come back from World War II. African American man was having difficulty finding a job, so he became a private detective, because what else do you do in film noir? You got to have that hard-boiled detective. So they called him Easy. His name was Ezekiel, and he was known as Easy Rollins. So what I'm rolling in is something that is easy to pan, and I am rolling in a product that should be finished by next month. I'm rolling in Elta MD's UV Elements tinted sunscreen. It is a physical sunscreen. It is wonderful for sensitive skin and post-procedure skin, so people who are on retinoids and really very sensitive. You can get this off of Amazon or from the Elta MD site. Most dermatologists' office also sell that, and that's where I got mine the first time. Looks like this. It comes in a little pump. There is usually kind of a big bubble in there that you gotta have to burp the pump out. But I have one that I had decanted because I was having trouble with the pump. It's in an airless pump. The problem with physical sunscreens is that when they're exposed to air, they start to set. So I put this one in an airless pump. It is up to here. I like to wear this when it starts to get warm. And this is kind of a no makeup day kind of thing. I actually am wearing it today for my foundation. But it does tend to oxidize, so I don't wear it in the winter as much. But this is, you can see it actually just kind of, it's a fairly decent match with my skin. It's a little bit darker. It does oxidize just a little bit, but it makes this kind of bronzy look, so I really like that. So my goal is to finish this one because I have a backup. I actually have two backups because I have two backups. I really like this stuff. So those are my updates, my outs, and my ins for this month for the movie madness. I hope you guys have enjoyed my stories. And I wanted to say this at the beginning, but it just slipped me because it didn't slip me. I was just really excited about my products. I'm sure everybody knows what's going on in Ukraine. And if you have time, make some time. If you're a person of faith, pray for Ukraine. If you're not a person of religious practice, take some time to meditate, and everyone should be calling their legislators, their government, to get support for the people of Ukraine, because I really believe that if Putin is not stopped in Ukraine, then the rest of Europe is at risk. And very much looking at World War III if he's not stopped in Ukraine. This is really dear to my heart. My daughter, her boyfriend was born in Ukraine. He has grandparents in Ukraine, and they're certainly not planning on leaving. This is their home. And so this is important both for our country, for the people of Ukraine, for the people of the world, but in a very near and dear way. This young man has become part of our family, and what's important to him is important to us too. So just take a few minutes and do what you can for the people of Ukraine. So, okay, so ending on that serious note, I hope y'all have a good day. I hope you're safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, bye.